Fallen in Reverse might just be the biggest band of all time, give or take. Led and effectively epitomised by frontman Ronnie Radke, they've not only crafted a successful career, but also one of the loyalist fan bases in the game. But it hasn't all been rainbows and butterflies. Hello, my name is not Alan Freaky. I've got a green screen now, I was blending into the wall a bit too much. And today we're going to be talking about the good, the bad and the nasty of Fallen in Reverse, and see how controversy and outsider culture can cement success. And by the end of it all, you'll know whether you're allowed to like them or not.
She's a monster. But I don't mind.
So just who in the heck are Falling in Reverse? Well, if you've been living under a rock, or you just don't like rock, I got you. This is 1 minute history. Ronnie Radke was born on a dark and stormy evening in December 1983. Already wasted 5 seconds. He has a tough upbringing, both of his parents battling addiction. Despite this, he bounces between a few groups before starting the post-hardcore band Escape the Fate in 2004. They see signs of early success, joining My Chemical Romance on tour after winning a Battle of the Band style competition. Despite these early signs, Ronnie gets sent to prison after being involved/present in an altercation that sees a man get shot and die. ETF give him the boot after just 2 EPs and 1 album with him at the helm. While in prison, he starts a new band, Fallen in Reverse. Once out the slammer in the year of our Lord 2010, Ronnie stays sober and recruits more talented musicians for FIR. Since then, it's been somewhat of a revolving door, but this hasn't stopped them achieving immense commercial success, albeit limited critical success, and releasing 5 albums to date, nor have the continuous legal struggles, the allegations, the beefs with bands, internet personalities, the cancelled tours, and the inability to get past border control. If anything, all these problems have solidified their underdog status to their fans. Pretty good. I think it's important to address my position before going any further. I'm not super in the know on metalcore, pop punk, or many of the other genres that Fallen in Reverse dip into. First impressions are important. I'm like 60% sure the first time I heard about Ronnie Radke and Fallen in Reverse was via an Anthony Fantano video. These two have beefed, and Radke even unsuccessfully tried to sue Fantano, so you can imagine it wasn't the most positive intro. And because of all of this, I was genuinely surprised by the sheer number of fans they have amidst all of the apparent controversy. The reason I'm saying this is because if there's one thing I learned when researching the band, it's that everyone comes into the Falling in Reverse debate with a shit ton of bias on one side or the other. I'll be honest, sometimes I heard Ronnie say things and I cringed. Then I wondered whether if I'd heard Kendrick Lamar say them, I would have taken them more seriously, and whether I'd come into this already decided that I should dislike him. Fan content didn't help. I got genuinely annoyed at some of the videos I watched. I don't mean to call anyone out, but I need you to understand my pain. Outrageous claims.
Santa Claus had come to me and say, what do you want to be later in the future? I would say I want to be Ronnie Radke.
Arse licking.
Some of you may be asking yourself, why are you even making this video? Do you just want to lick Ronnie's balls? Well, the answer is definitely...
And the worst mic drops of all time.
Is Ronnie an asshole? Absolutely. But to be honest, aren't we all?
But someone with his outsider culture would probably have been similarly disgusted with the bias on the other side. I'm not sure whether I've achieved an unbiased video here. Make your own mind up on that. But addressing my position is an important step nonetheless, because bias is a key part of this story. What do I mean by outsider culture? I'm talking about a group of people who band together after feeling like they don't fit in. They see themselves as misunderstood or dismissed by society in the mainstream, and over time, when reinforcing togetherness, these feelings become identity. Genres like emo, punk and metal have always existed on the periphery of norms. You hear it in the lyrics, see it in the aesthetics, and the people who gravitate towards it feel it. The groups don't need to be small in number, these scenes are huge, but the simple perception that they've been looked down upon by a large or dominant group for their tastes or ideologies can create this culture. Outsiders exist because insiders do, and so any criticism from the inside group doesn't weaken outsider culture, it reaffirms it, and Falling in Reverse are an incredibly potent example of how outsider culture forms and how the reaction of insiders fuels this growth and development. I want to look at what people attach themselves to Falling in Reverse in spite of. Not in a judgy way, I hope, but to figure out how we've all arrived at different platforms. Let's get the weightiest one out the way. Ronnie Radke has a checkered legal past with multiple allegations attached to his name. His prison sentence came from his role in instigating the fight that ended up seeing one of his friends fatally shooting someone in self-defense. Since getting out of jail, there have been a few things that question his character, but main ones, his ex accused him of domestic abuse. The charges were later dropped. He was also accused of rape in 2015 along with his bodyguard. The police did get involved, found no supporting evidence, the accuser's story was deemed inconsistent, and again, no charges were filed. Would I be surprised if he did it? No, not really, but maybe that's more of a result of constant abuse of male power in the music industry rather than anything personal on Ronnie. The only reason I'm bringing up these incidents is because despite him being innocent in the eyes of the law, it still very much affects the perception people have of Ronnie Radke. Perhaps wrongly, but really. And it's the ongoing backlash that he gets because of these allegations, despite them being dropped, that fuels his fans and the perception of his constant unfair treatment. This is the curation of outsider culture in action. But let's dive into his character. You may hear Ronnie being called insecure and a hypocrite. And these statements are mostly true. Ronnie's not a shy lad, he likes to run his mouth, he reacts to and gets himself into beefs on the regular, with his peers, with faceless accounts, with, former Newcastle centre-back Jean-Alain Boumsong, probably. Social media clearly affects him, despite him trying to give off an I don't give a fuck demeanour.
I would literally obliterate this man.
And to be fair, given the allegations, there are certainly times when I think responding to people is completely justified, but it's how he responds. He comes across as so immature. He's been hypocritical many times. He says people can react to his music, then tries to ruin someone's career for reacting negatively. Grow up, lad. Not very classy. He preaches mental health and then fuels the transphobia fire. Him wrongly amplifying the misinformation that a trans woman was becoming a tampon ambassador actually got him banned from TikTok. This was, of course, then utilised in line with the outsider culture to reinforce the underdog narrative that everybody's out to get him. His actions consistently escalate the conflict between the two groups. The criticism intensifies, the backlash grows, and Ronnie's fans retreat further into their culture and their loyalty. And then there's the music itself. Music's subjective, right? So I'm not going to linger on this one for too long, but Falling in Reverse's music does get a lot of criticism. Occasionally this is because his lyrics don't paint him in the best light, but this isn't unique to Ronnie, and other artists are more easily forgiven. Some of the music is just kind of bad, and the reaction of the fans can annoy people. For me, it's when they talk about how good he is at rapping.
Now I'm shitting on rappers. All I do is work, straight up hustle and grind.
The rap is perfect. The lyrics are perfect.
It's admirable making different kinds of music, but Ronnie Radke is one of the guys who make rap music for people who don't like rap. The important part, though, is that once you don't like the music, everything else about them becomes more damning, and the band as a whole is easier to dismiss. Someone else liking the music becomes weird. The dismissal can be patronising and conveyed as a matter of fact. Ronnie Radke is one of the guys who make rap music for people who don't like rap, and this once again pushes fans further away from the insiders and towards the band, because there are good qualities to the music. Serious technical talent in people like Jackie Vincent and Luke Holland. Ronnie has a powerful, recognisable voice and a clear visual vision. You could beg questions of separating art and the artist. Big topic, but Falling in Reverse's fans don't want to separate them. For the most part, Ronnie's personality and his actions are a huge part of why they're so invested. So ultimately, all the dismissal does is negate a culture, an identity, and cause further contention and divide. But let's flip the script now. I didn't ask why do people dislike Falling in Reverse, did I? So what is it that the fans subscribe to? And that reminds me, only 9 of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So rectify that. Now. Please. So why is it that people look past the allegations, the hypocrisy, and the immature behaviour? There are 2 sides to this, and they both play into this idea of outsider culture. First, his underdog status, or I suppose his redemption arc. Ronnie's a success story. He's been through some serious shit, some of it his fault, some not, and he does seem to take responsibility for most of it.
Going to prison was the best thing that could happen to me.
He struggled with substances and got sober. He was accused of cheating and then was in a strong, committed relationship. He went to prison, but now he's following his dreams and making music for a living. He's made mistakes, but he got his life back on track. And he continues to make mistakes. His redemption is him getting better and not getting sainted. He's not Jesus, he's not perfect. And that's relatable. That's what we want for ourselves, the chance to grow without forever being defined by our worst moments. But it's not just the story that fosters loyalty, it's the relationship. I don't know Ronnie, obviously, but he appears to genuinely care about his fans. I think he sees a bit of himself in them.
When I was a kid, if my favorite band did that, I would be stoked. So
he connects with them in more intimate environments than your average artist. During lockdown, he'd live stream on Twitch, talking directly to them, and access that humanized him in a way that most artists would never allow. He shares his personal life, his relationships, his day-to-day, his time. Also, and this is an important one, he is very teehee.
Can someone direct me towards the giant dick?
Teehee. But there's more than the pure wealth of fan to Radke time. We've also got to consider the subjects that he talks about. A lot of his lyrics exist on the heavier side of the emotional spectrum. He's open and vulnerable about what he's been through and what he goes through, and that's appreciated by his fans, especially those who can relate. Whilst we can argue there's a degree of hypocrisy and sometimes a lack of practicing what he preaches, it doesn't remove the fact that he shines a light on mental health issues. For fans, the inconsistencies don't discredit him, they reinforce the idea that he's flawed and unfinished, just like them. I believe in his fanbase there's an idea that non-Radke fans expect him to be perfect. I don't think this is actually true, but it's a true belief. This imagined expectation fuels the polarization, strengthens the us against the world bond and the culture itself. I don't know whether Radke consciously plays into that. I don't know whether his social media outbursts are calculated or impulsive, but whether they are or not, they certainly help him. The more he's criticised, the more loyal his fans become. And this isn't unique to him, it goes for any fanatic fan base, but he is a fantastic contemporary example of it. In one of the videos that I watched, someone said that no matter what side you're coming from, Falling in Reverse are a fantastic topic to make a video on.
Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse are good click material for content.
And he was so right. I think the worst thing that I'm hand on heart, happy and confident to say about Ronnie is that he's a deeply insecure man. The music of Falling in Reverse might not be to my taste, but it's clear that there is talent and redeeming characteristics there. He staged a massive comeback, remaining a realistic, flawed figure. He connects deeply with his fans. He's teehee.
Hey, do you know where the wooden dick store is?
And for a lot of people who feel like outsiders in their own lives, Falling in Reverse offer more than music. They offer community. They offer identity. And because outside cultures are born from opposition, as long as that identity is opposed, it will only grow stronger. Which, whether by accident or design, probably suits Ronnie just fine. And that is all I've got for you today. Do you like Ronnie Radke? Like if yes, subscribe if no. Let me know what I missed about him. And Ronnie, if you're watching, give me hell. There is a non-zero chance that he is. Thank you so much from the bottom of my silly little heart for watching. Stay cool. Never stop stopping. Welcome to 1 minute. Fucking cunt.